morning, good morning. I think we're live. I think we're good. Let's go. Perfect, perfect. All right. Good morning, good morning. So we have this area here. This 1 hour for value gap that we are pushing off of. We traded down, pushed up, or reaching into this area up higher now. Up above this high possibly. Up into this fair value gap that's resting above here. So I'm just marking up what I see here on the chart. This will be the 15-minute fair value gap, but it's going to be, I'm just going to make it red. There's a 15-minute fair value gap. If we invert that, then we could possibly keep pushing higher. But until then, we could just keep gravitating up. Or if we just flip back around, if we get bearish SMT within here, we could flip back around, target 50% of this wick here from the news. Also this wick on the 5-minute. Also this wick here on the 1-minute. Okay. So we have not hit 50% of that yet. 30-second time frame, we just inverted this 30-second. I would say this 30-second is going to send price down lower. We got these equal lows here. I'm just observing what we're getting now in price action. Nothing else other than that. So I think this is a good short, in my opinion. We just hit the high. We do have bearish SMT with YM. I would say this is going to go bearish from this area. It looks pretty good. It's just moving way too fast for me in my liking. I don't think it's A+ setup, but I think it's possible. It's just not A+ because of the time that we're in right now. I think we could make another drive higher. There's been a lot of fake moves around this time, which is usually why I don't trade around this time. I usually just sit here and observe it. So, as you can tell, this is part of the reason why I'm not. We already came back above 50%, closed it. So see, it could just send right down lower to this new day opening gap. Potentially lower down into here, because this would be my target, 50% of this wick. And then potentially lower towards the data lows down here. But I want to keep in mind that we can get more time in here. More chop. Blow up above the high, maybe even hit this high, and then get a good inversion with equal lows down here. I'd much rather take something like this within this area. Much rather. And that's why my injecting logics from my mental game review have really helped me so much. Such as this right here. Missing this trade is just an opportunity for me to review and improve my quality execution. At the moment, either wasn't clear, or I was in a distracted mindset. Right now, it's not that clear. Even though there is a pattern, it's still not that clear. So that's okay. Even if it leaves without me. Looks like we're going to get another closure down below this gap here. And possibly trade lower now. Because look, we've been up, 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 and up. Pulled back. Up, 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 and up. Take out the high. Finally. Oh, we did take out a 5-minute high here. We didn't take out this high. Look at all these equal highs here. That's kind of sus. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of sus to me. So unless we get a pullback down into this range, maybe we do get a reversal later today. Where it does pull back down, and we get another reversal back up. Let's look at all these next to each other. These two. We traded down lower here. We stayed higher there. Equal highs, we pulled back. Okay. And we ended up trading higher. Up into this range. Up into this range here. We keep in mind the range that we're in now. We're above the 50%. We're almost to the more of a premium of a 62. And I do have this 15-minute gap marked up right there that we could gravitate to. Notice how I did not enter that 30-second sell inversion gap? Because look at what we're getting now. We're going to end up inverting this gap as well as this gap all in one 30-second candle. And then we continue to push higher towards this buy side up here. And is that a good setup to take? No. if you want to, I'll explain it on why it's not a good setup. Because we just pulled back down. We took out this liquidity, but we did not take out this liquidity. We did not hit this higher time frame PD array, and we left all these equal lows down here with this gap. Well, this 50% of the range. So that being said, all that left behind, just because we inversed this gap, does not mean it's time to go. Even if we have this breaker here, it does not matter. Okay. That was not a good quality setup, even though we went long. Whereas before, I used to feel FOMO of missing that move there. But at the end of the day, it was a low quality setup. So back to my injecting logics again. Letting B to C setups pass without letting FOMO skew the trade. I tell myself that I must save my energy for a good opportunity that is clear. So keeping that in mind as well. That's what just happened right there. We got our macro starting in about 9 minutes anyway. So pay attention to our macro that's coming up from 9:50. Alright, 9:50. I want to save this as a template. So this range that we're about to get into is where I like to look for setups. So right now, I want to see what happens in this area, but if we do get something good within here, nice inversion, boom. We can target the low, or whatever. Or if we sell off, hit something like this with a nice inversion for a value gap, maybe we create some sort of equal highs here, and then we get the inversion for a value gap or whatever, with equal highs here. Nice inversion, order block, whatever, and go higher. That'd be cool. Or if we hit this low too, boom, equal highs in here, take the buy right there, boom. So I don't really care what price is doing right now. Wait to see what it wants to tell me. Was last week when we missed that move here. It's Friday. Yeah, we missed this move right here. Like we pushed higher, we left all these equal lows, but we never like ended up coming back down below, as you can tell. We still haven't come back down below those lows. Retested, use this inversion there to push higher. Might be something similar today, but it might not be. We'll just keep watching and see what price does. I just see a lot of equal lows here. We took out the highs already. We use equal lows right there. I'm gonna close that out. It doesn't need to be on there. We just inverted this 1 minute fair value gap. Let's see if this sends price lower. There's SMT with the other indices. If we're bullish here on dollar, that's good for longs. Dollar is pulling back into this range. We got equal highs up here if it wants to keep going bullish. 1 hour closed pretty bullish, so we'll see. We inverted this gap here in the 1 hour, so maybe that does go bullish and we do go bearish in the indices today. There's that 1 minute inversion for value gap where we just sent lower. It's not my macro, so I have like no emotion for missing this move here. What? Log me out of my trading account. This would be that move, but I didn't take that move because it's outside of the macro. We didn't have SMT with ES really, so I'd want to wait on that one there. Even if I did take this look, it'd already be at break even. I'd already be at break even with this trade. That's why experience will let you know like when to get in and when not to get in. 5 minute looks pretty bearish. It's pretty good. See if this wants to move lower. If I was to enter this trade, I'd definitely be at break even right now. I know I'm not in it. But if I was in it, the trade would have moved down, took out this internal low here, and then it would have came back and hit the break even. And it's likely to continue down lower from what I see right now. Look, we got that close, and then now we got a 30-second order block. We tested that order block, moving lower. There we go. Let's see if it gravitates lower towards the 50%. I want to see if we reach down here or not. Alright, so we're just about to hit our macro. I'm going to go over kind of what we have right now in price action. Let's start out here in the 4-hour time frame. We're completely ripping higher here on YM. Bullish as fuck. Okay. We're going bullish here on these indices right now. Well, at the same time, we're pulling back after taking the liquidity that's up above. So after we take that liquidity, we're getting that pullback. So we got to see if this finds support here, it keeps going higher, or if we end up reversing and going back lower towards these other lows that are down here. I know ES has a lot of equal lows, but at the same time, we're in bullish structure. Coming up, taking out the lows, moving higher. Coming down, taking out lows. Consolidating, taking out the lows again, moving higher. Let's see what it wants to do in this area. 1 hour time frame. Traded down again. Hit the new week opening gap, which is this blue box here. And then we started to basically retest this blue box. Came up to this high, and now we rejected that high. So the question is, do we trade back lower now? In this macro that's starting in the next like 2 minutes into this wick, or potentially lower down below the news lows down here, because here's news highs. We took those out. Then we got news lows down here. So it depends on what we want to do within that range now. Alright guys, we just came down into this 50% of this wick here. So wicks act as fair value gaps, so if we get a reaction off of here, we could potentially look for a higher movement because we did take liquidity with that move. And now we just hit that move there. We have bullish SMT still. Okay, if dollar decides to start looking weak and continues to move lower, then we could look for a potential inversion to go long. Which I believe this 30-second is what we're looking for here. Yeah, this is happening so quick. We got these relative equal highs there. If we invert this 30-second, sometimes it just happens so fast. Okay, we didn't hit that yet. So I want to get a little bit more planning in anyway. Okay, we're in our macro. We hit 50% of the wick. How's our opening range looking? I haven't even looked at the opening range. We just filled in the entire opening range as well. Yeah, so if we invert this gap right here and leave these highs intact, I want to see that 1 minute invert. I want to see the 1 minute invert above the new day opening gap. I know the 30-second just inverted. This is not A+ to me. Not yet. Even though it just inverted, we could have entered right there. Bullish SMT. Man, I would just like to see some more price action down below. Below this, though. Yeah, see, this is part of the reason why I didn't enter that. See, we inverted this gap right here. Hit this gap, and now we're pulling back down. So that's like a not as trustworthy 30-second for value gap. That's an inversion. Because even look, we're not even closing this 1 minute right here, and we also had the new day opening gap there. I'm gonna leave this buy limit lower. Like I have the buy limits just because if there is a setup, I want to drag it in and just let go. I'm not actually buying it down here. I'm looking at how these 5 minutes are closing. Very bearish. Bearish. We might hit news lows. I'm going to mark this opening range so I have it on my chart. But always remember ICT always said, like, if it moves fast and it wasn't planned, it's not the right trade. So if we continue to chop around here and we get more wicks at the downside with SMTs, and then we break above and close above this fair value gap, that could be a bullish signature because of the order block that's now in place. So where's the 2 minute time frame? Here's the 3 minute time frame. 50% of this range would fall in line right above here. I'm gonna try it out. If it loses, it loses. I don't really give a fuck. Because we just closed up above the new day opening gap. 50% of the opening range. We got the order block now. And we have these equal highs up here on ES. So there's multiple PD arrays that have to be broken if this hits stop loss. Which this might hit. It looks like it might, and I mean, that's completely fine. But from what I'm seeing here in this price action, we hit liquidity, higher time frame PD array. We have the SMTs. We have the inversion now. So like, my plan says to take the trade. And my plan says it's anywhere between like 60 to like 70% of trades win. And we had our speed and displacement above here. But there's just a lot. Yeah, my dog's barking. Give me a second. Sorry, my dog is barking. Alright, looks like we're going to get stop loss here, and that's fine. If we do get stop loss, I mean, it happens. I mean, I can't avoid a loss. Parker, stop. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down, baby. Lay down. Get your bed right there. Yeah, that 2 minute looks like shit. Yeah, we're going to get hit out. Yep, just like that. So that's completely fine. Look at these. We left these equal highs intact up here. We had the SMT. So I'm not complaining about that loss. I think that was a good, valid loss, in my opinion. I followed the plan, like, to the T. We had these equal highs. Waited for the inversion. We had this PD array. This PD array. This PD array. We had a lot of shit lining up, and it just did not want to play out. So that's fine. I'll look for one more setup today. And if it loses, then I'm obviously done on the day. So let's see what happens. We could still get a setup. I'd like to see this actually now rip down to this low. Give me an inversion. And then I'll take another buy from there. I'll make back the loss and then a whole nother R at least. Okay, if that does play out. So I'm recording this in my notes here. So that was me following my plan, planning the trade, and then taking a loss. I told you guys, if we invert this 1 minute, I want to look for a long. Which I did. I followed my plan. Higher time frame though, obviously we just wanted to reject. We accumulated, we manipulated, and obviously we're distributing here, starting to move lower. We took out internal liquidity and started falling. But at the same time, we had these equal highs here in ES, which were telling me that it's likely we could end up pushing back higher towards those equal highs. Since we still have those equal highs there, we still have room to go down here. Since we still have those equal highs there, I still want to go bullish. Okay? I'm going to watch this 1 minute for value gap now. We just hit the news lows. We're still staying higher here. If I take one more loss, I'm done on the day. Okay? I'll just tell you that. And I mean, that happens sometimes. There's days where you take 2 losses and then it's just not it. You know, we got a 30-second gap here now. This might be a better setup here. We just hit the news lows. So if we invert this 30-second for value gap, I want to see where price wants to take me. Because look, we got these equal highs up here, right there. These equal highs. Wonder how long it's going to stay down here, though. And we're in our macro, too, so I got to keep that in mind. Wow, if this 3 minute, though, closes like this, I'm not taking that. Because look at this new week opening gap. We've been just testing it so many times. I mean, it's becoming weaker and weaker every time we test it. So we'll see. That 15-minute did not close good, I'll say that. We're not getting the SMT I want to see at the wicks though. I need to see some more price action down here at these wicks, if anything. I want to see some more consolidation down here and more SMTs. And since we hit this high, I'm not a huge fan of that. So we go to this swing high here. And then we'd rip another. Or if this is the drive lower, we do a 2R. Well, 2 standard deviation. Be right about here. Deep lines. So 4, 8. So those 2 contracts would make back the loss. And this one would make back another 1,000 on top of that entire trade. Okay, it looks like it wants to keep moving lower. So we'll see if it wants to keep moving lower. We'll see what we get. We still have all morning. I don't need to take anything just now. I remember before I used to like not be able to take a loss. And it's because like I didn't necessarily plan the trade. I just fucking hopped right in. Or this one, I said if we were going to keep going bullish, so we do have this gap up here, we had those equal highs up there, that if we were to keep going bullish, this would be a good retest area, and if we get up above the new day opening gap, that'd be a good retest to possibly go long. I mean, the 2-minute even closed pretty good for potential expansion into this gap, but obviously it wanted to reach down towards this low, and it's looking like it wants to reach lower down into here. So we'll see how that goes. So there's one loss. $1,200. Exactly what I like to risk. Yeah, I guess I just read the market wrong here. Yeah, that fucking traded everything I needed to see, too. Besides the news lows. That's wild to me. It's like, yeah, no, fuck you. We're gonna go short. Alright. Yeah, I really think we're gonna get back up above there at some point today. I think we're gonna reverse. Dollar looks like it might want to start pushing down. We got these equal lows down here. This is like staying heavy. Dude, we are just ranging on this fucking time frame, dude. I can't be mad at myself. I really just like followed my plan. Alright, this macro is just ending now. We traded to this low right here. Now we're rejecting this low. And look at this low here. And this low. So we have a higher low, lower low, that's bullish SMT. Equal highs above, taking out internal liquidity. We mark out 50% of this wick here in case we do get down into this area. Or even the new day opening gap down below. If we do get an inversion at some point here, in the next macro maybe this is an opportunity for us to go long in the next macro, which would be 1020. So right now, I'm just waiting. I waited for my macro. We took out the lows. I was looking for this range to get met again. We had SMTs. Okay. We had inversions, multiple, not just one, but 2 and 3 with an order block. But I just wanted to act as a form of liquidity. Maybe I had the narrative wrong, and I was just trading patterns. We took out this high, we traded down. We took out internal liquidity, which is what I was looking at, to potentially move higher, because this liquidity already took out this low. I didn't think no news lows had to be met again, but obviously they did. Move down. Now we're back below the new week opening gap. And maybe we keep selling off today. This is just accumulating. Starting to move lower. Let's get a massive expansion lower. It's possible. Maybe today's just a lost day. I gotta wait for my macro anyway, so I'm just gonna leave it as this. We have this 5-minute fair value gap. If we get up in there, get some distribution, maybe we do continue to sell off. I've already reached a lot of this discount though. I guess let's use this breaker here. was today for news? It was retail, core retail sales. %of the range would be right about there. We still don't have SMTs yet. We're making relative equal highs up above there. Alright, I'm gonna go get one more coffee, and then we'll be back. Let's see. All right, now we're getting some reaction off this low here. We're continuing to make these lows. I see that we got SMT with YM. We need to start moving bearish here on dollar. I'm just not getting everything to line up with me yet. I'm gonna wait on more information. This thing could continue short. It's crazy. I just wasn't bearish, but we're in that range for a bearish target. You hit the low. Did everything we had to do. You fucking meathead. What the fuck? "30-second inversion right there. Yeah, see this setup outside of our macro here. We usually don't trade in that time frame, but we just had another setup happen right within there. Yeah, your 20 points, your 40 points, and then you could be looking to target back into 50% of the range, which would be about 72 points from that 30-second inversion level. Not that high probability, but that's what we just got. Standard deviation would bring us right up into there as well. That's outside of the macro, like I was saying. So I wouldn't even want to take that. And that's why I wasn't looking. Just clearing up the chart a little bit. I don't know why my NLog's not on there. Dude, I swear I have this thing. I don't know why it's not on there. What the fuck? I got it on this one. I guess that's it. I don't know, man. That's ridiculous. Alright, hit the 5-minute fair value gap. Pushing back down. Right inside of our macro. Nine-minute fair value gap got tapped into. This is moving lower, so we should be pushing higher. Let's see what we get. Maybe we're just gonna get an accumulation right here, and then get another buy up. Or just create more equal lows, get a buy up, and then a shift lower. A lot of equal highs here in ES. Equal lows down here. So we're now in this 4-hour gap again. 4-hour order block. We're staying bullish here. There's 15-minute. I want to talk about what we're getting now here in price action. Look how we are pushing higher here, staying lower on this area. We're looking to possibly continue to push here on dollar. We're starting to get some order blocks formed here. 15 minutes, about to close a little bit bullish. We'll see if it closes above that gap or not. We are retesting this area now. If we get some inversions in here, there's not any singular fair value gap, which is the issue. Let's see how this gap plays out now. We got a 1 minute in fair value gap here. We'll see if that inverts. Gun to my head, this looks like we're gonna go bearish. still. Just because we have that SMT, we're about to get some more inversions in this area. We have a new week opening gap that acts as support. We have this 5-minute time frame right here. We bounce off that area. I just need more information in the chart before I place any type of entry again. I'm not trying to revenge trade. I'm cool with just that one loss today, if that's what happens. I stuck to my plan, so if I was to take this short right now, that's not following my plan. Even though I think it's higher probability. Like, I subconsciously want to take another trade because I lost. I want to make my money back, but that's not my goal. My goal here is to follow my execution plan, win or loss, and I did that with the first trade, so I'm happy with my results on the day. Over time, I'm profitable, so I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's see what we get. If we push up higher, take out this high again, and we still have more SMTs here, I want to see what happens. But if we end up shifting higher, inverting this 5-minute time frame, I want to see what price action gives us from there. Because right now we got equal lows here that we could target for a short. Up here on ES, we had equal highs that we could target for a long. We got bullish SMT in the higher time frame. But we also look pretty bearish in the higher time frame. The new 30 minutes is open. We're initially pushing higher, and we closed down below the new week opening gap for the first time in a while. Like, yeah, this is the first time we closed down below the new week opening gap. I want to see if this wants to continue to sell price off. Maybe down below this low. This is a standard deviation of the bodies of this 30-minute stop hunt here. That came up into this for value gap. Maybe we target down into here, which would be down to these lows here. It just needs some time. Needs some time. If we do get that, if we do get a massive sell-off today, I'd like to see ES push the high, those equal highs right there. I'd like to see NQ stay in this range and give us an inversion setup. I really believe we can get a big banger trade if that does decide to set up. If we somehow get a short within here, somewhere. Let's even say it's down here. Do a 20-20. So we take one off there. The next trade would come off around 40 points. Let's say there. And the next one, we'd leave it for the standard deviation. Because that alone would be, let's just say 1,000. It'd be more than 1,000, but let's say minimum of 1,000 there. This next one would be a big ripper, which would take profit around the 50. So 5, 6, that'd be 400 times 6 plus 1,000. 3,400. If this trade was to go from here to here, to here, to here. We just gotta wait. And that's what people that like take a loss and then they initially want to make their money back and then they lose again and then they lose confidence. And it's like, save your fucking confidence, man. Wait till you get something clear. Like, we're still getting inversions. Like, I mean, not inversions, SMTs here. Another higher high. Like this is still staying bearish. We got all these equal lows. We're using this as a potential breaker. Keep pushing lower. So we're going higher here on dollar. I like that dollar just took out this low here. We got these relative equal highs, these highs. Those relative equal highs, yeah. Swept the low, yep. Yep. We just really got a fat closure there. It's not giving me exactly what I want yet, so I'm going to stay on the sidelines and miss this move. I'm okay with missing that because I want to wait to see if there's something better that's going to set up. Because it's just ranging right here. We are in this order block. We have this order block here. We also have these equal highs after taking internal liquidity. You can frame both sides in ES, which makes me nervous in this area. There's nothing clear yet. I think both ways are still on the table. Relative equal highs, just low. How's this looking? That's why I didn't take that short either, not yet. Okay, I got another higher high here, another lower high, bouncing out the new week opening gap again. Nice 3-minute bearish closure. And we push right back into it. Alright, we got a few minutes left. Our next macro will be starting in a little bit. I know we're in a macro now, but our next one will be starting right here. So it'll be 10:50, 11:10. That's usually where my best trades like to set up anyway. Right there. We'll see where we are around this macro time. she goes, pushing higher again. We have this 5 minute for value gap. It looks like we're about to... Ooh, we're not even about to invert it. We still got a lot of time left here. So we have 4 minutes to see what happens in this for value gap. If we stay here, we blow through this high here on ES. We're staying lower here. We got these relative equal lows. We'll see in our next macro in the next 10 minutes what happens within that range. Maybe we get another setup to potentially go short down below these lows. Part of me wants to long this 3 minute as well. But the risk to reward is not necessarily there. We'd have to invert it though. I do like that. I really fucking like that, honestly. You go long right here, up to this high. To this swing high as well. The tables have turned, as you can tell. But we're not in our macro. Keep that in mind. Price could just be flipping that narrative. Yeah, look at these equal highs, bro. Look at them all. Look at all those fucking equal highs, man. We're about to invert the 4 minute as well. Oh, we did tap into there. I would say this next 1 minute, yeah, this candle closing up above this one, the body, retest it. Maybe this is an order block here. Order block to move up. You just go down to these lower time frames, kind of get the idea of what we're looking at now. We get those equal highs that we're targeting. Trade down, soup this. We get this for value gap here in the 5 second time frame. Right there. Make that a blue for value gap on a 5 second time frame. I think we're gonna poke this 5 second time frame right there. See if we rip right up from this 5 second time frame. Inverted that 3 minute. If we're gonna go long, that's what I would like to see, this 5 second time frame. Hold price action. If not, this one down here. Okay, we just soup this low as well. Okay, broke through that 5 second. We just soup this low. This low would be last point. I'm not trading this on a live, but I'll paper trade it. I'll paper trade this one from here to here. I really think we're gonna get up to there. Maybe even higher, but five is gonna come off right there. Exactly what I'm looking for. There we go. Right on a 5-second fucking chart, man. Hop off. Soup the lows. Tap the order block. Okay, now we're pushing back down. We'd want to see this next 3-minute close above these candles here. We're not even in our macro. That's why I'm paper trading this one here. It's also not like high probability, but it's high enough because we got these equal highs up here on ES. I love those equal highs up there. It'd be better if ES did trade down into this gap and we stayed higher here. We got this order block here. I ain't gonna lie, this is some like harder price action today. Alright, look at that. We just souped this low. We stayed higher here. Let's see it just push from this area. 15-second time frame. Invert this 15-second for value gap here. Just like that. 5-second inverted. 15 seconds just closed. Inverted that gap. Now watch it lift off because we just souped this low. Equal highs. Order block. SMT divergence. So higher low, lower low. Let's see it just rocket up. I'd say this low should stay intact now because that's the SMT low there. So reduce the risk from whatever I had it at, 2,000 down to 1,200. Take profit, take 5 off at about 3,000 profit there. So whatever that would be, a little over 2K. I'm gonna take the last one off at this high up here that we're looking at. Okay, we got an order block here on the 30-second. So at 30-second, I would want to see it act as a form of support right here. So it'd be a bullish order block right there. I had one more contract on that order block. Stop still down below this low here. We're not in our macro, so I'm not trading this on my eval or my funded right now. But this is a pretty clean distribution to the downside. I mean, accumulation to the downside to go up for the buy side. That's a pretty good order flow. Wouldn't mind taking one off at this high here. So that'd be about 14 points or so. Just taking one contract off. We're back into that order block again. Five minutes looking good. We just inverted the 5 minute for value gap. We still have those equal highs above. Ooh, baby. Man, this does look pretty fucking good, ain't gonna lie. ES just blew that high there, and Q staying lower. We're in our macro now. Okay, one contract off, moving stops to break even. Might come right down to break even, and then we're done. Okay, right back to that 30-minute order block, 30-second order block. You see why I closed this is because we have bearish SMT now. We're already trading lower here. We didn't hit 50% of our range. I do want to keep that in mind. There you go, the rest about to hit break even. Break even. Cool. That's fine. There's still good order flow. We entered on the soup there. Still 120 points from where we entered on the soup. Okay, we're in our last macro. Let's see how price starts to play in this macro. We got bearish SMT. We're very weak here on the RSI, as you can tell. But we inverted this 5 minutes, so we'd want to see this 5 minute inversion get invalidated by the next few 5 minute candles. So we're going bullish on dollar. Is not going bullish right now. What the fuck? We took out that high right there. Bearish SMT out the ass. So, I want to pay attention here. What do we start to get in this price action? We got a 1 minute inversion for value gap right here. We close down below that 1 minute inversion with SMT. Sell limit. I like a possible sell limit here with this breaker in play. I'm going to take a stab at this here. This is my last trade of the day. Stop will be... Fuck, it's I thought I already had 2020 on there. Stop's gonna be right there. We're in our macro, so I wanted to see how this plays out. But I'd say this is a good setup in my opinion. This is what I was quoting all the way from down below. So that'll be buy limit. If this one gets stopped out, it gets stopped out. And I mean, it is what it is. Next contract would go off with these lows here. And then the final one, like I said, we'll see if we get a massive expansion down. So I'm going to go from the higher time frame one on this. Because where is that expansion? It's right. So we're going to take it all the way down to there. We're taking it to the 50%. I'd say this trade is still valid. Look at that 2-minute closer. You'd want to see this continue to react lower. Dollar, you want to see you push up, brother. You want to see you fucking start pushing up. Are we going to use you as a breaker? I don't know. This might be 2 stops in one day. I like it though. We came out, we poke out these equal highs up here. We're in the new week opening gap. We hit this fair value gap. This took liquidity. SMTs. We got these equal lows here. I like it. It's worth it. We got a lot of low resistance down here. We're already trending bearish. So I'm in this short right now. Basically, we came up higher into this range in the new week opening gap. We have SMT at the highs. So higher high here, lower high here, and also higher high over here. So higher high, lower high. On the wicks here, higher high, lower high. So double SMT with a clear drawn liquidity lower, which is here, here, relative equal lows. We retraced, we took out this buy side here. Okay, when we took out this buy side, we hit the top of the new week opening gap. It looks like we're going to continue down. I believe there's a lot of early buyers down here that price might want to reach down to. We're in our macro time. Now I'm looking to see expansion to the downside. Alright, so we just took one contract off right there. And we just hit the swing low. So my rules say to move stops to break even. Modify order. Stops to break even. So we're still up about 4. I don't care about P&L. Care about following the plan. We'd want to see this just continue down. We'd want to see this close a little bit lower. 2-minute time frame. You're going to close a little bit lower. You're not going to close. No, we did not. So this is the new 1 hour candle. So we gave this a little bit of a wick. This 1 hour closed bearish. So this next one looks like we could possibly close bearish as well. But I can't say that we're not going to push up higher and hit me out first. I don't know. It might just hit my break even and then we go lower. And I mean, I just followed my rules. I mean, that's what fucking matters. So again, I entered this trade because we had bearish SMT. We made a leg down. And then we had the bearish SMT within here. I entered based on this 1 minute inversion level that we had right here. And after we had that 1 minute inversion level, I entered the trade because we're also playing off of this breaker. So it's a breaker on the 32nd. So I made the low, took out the high, created a breaker. Okay. And once we created that breaker, I entered the trade. And my rules say to risk 20 points, take profit on one contract at 20 points. So from here to here, 20 points. That's what I did. Move stops to break even when we break the swing low, which we broke over here and over here. So next trade, I'm taking off with these relative equal lows, which is about 40 points or so. So that'll be 400 plus 800, which will make back the initial loss I had this morning where I had to buy based on that 1 minute inversion candle that actually closed up above the new day opening gap. And we had this as a potential target right here, 20 points right up above this wick, which left this fair value gap, and then potentially higher up to these highs in this 15 minute I had, but those didn't want to play out, and that's completely fine. But between this win and if we get this TP, that'll make back the loss. And then if we end up gravitating towards the low, which I've been anticipating this morning, then that'll be it. Okay, we just hit break even. So I'm happy with the outcome on the day. I'm going to leave it as that. I'm going to leave it as that. We just came back to break even. Let's see if it wants to continue back down or not, which it might. If it does, it is what it is. I followed the rules, followed the plan. That's all that matters. So on the day, should only be down about 800. Yep, 813. It's perfectly fine. Because if this trade decided to win, this would be a big, big, big win. This would have locked me in 800. And then going down to part of our fib extension, which would be way down there. That'd be another shit ton of points, basically. But we'd lock it in probably somewhere around there. That's a nice day, following the rules, following the plan. So that's all that matters. All right. Take care, guys. Love y'all. Peace out. This is not financial advice.